I'm not an expert on relationships or a theologian. I'm just sharing what I'm reading.
There was a husband and a wife. The wife had been out of sorts because lots of things were happening. So the husband wanted to do something nice for his wife. He went into the garden and picked a couple gallons of strawberries because they were her favorite fruit. He sliced some of them and put them in cream with sugar, and with the others made some fresh ice cream and put them in the freezer. He brought the cream and strawberries to his wife, and she looked at him grumpily and said, "I'd rather have had some strawberry ice cream." The next day the ice cream had set, so the husband dished up a bowl and gave it to the wife. She looked at it and said, "You know, I really wanted some fresh strawberries." Third day, he got 2 bowls and put fresh sliced strawberries in one and ice cream in the other and brought both of them to her. Things had been going even worse. She was really grumpy. She looked down at the bowls and said, "You put the ice cream in the wrong bowl." Trying to please people in relationships, sometimes we never get there. It's like the hamster wheel from hell. We run and never get there. In a healthy, loving relationship, it's grace-based. That is, you're not earning the other person's love. It's not performance-based. With God, we aren't earning His love. He just gives it in grace through Christ Jesus on the cross. You know, for a long time, I really didn't get it about sin. I wasn't a criminal. I wasn't doing bad things. I tried to do the right thing in life. Why wouldn't you go to heaven if you're being good? I didn't take into account all the ways you can sin in relationships and God's holiness. One bad thought, one bad action, and our righteousness is gone before the Lord. It's like one pastor said, it's not like a pile of stones sitting in the ground. You break one of the commandments, and it's like taking away a stone from the pile. You break one of the commandments, it's like shattering a plate glass window. It's gone, busted into pieces. And as I said before, if we were earning God's love, when would we know we'd ever earned enough? How would we know we had arrived? It's nice for people when others are nice to them. They appreciate that. But the thing is, do we have a relationship with God? If you met a stranger in the street, most likely you aren't going to have them back to your house. Why? Because you don't have a relationship with them. When you look at other religions, Muslims cannot tolerate disagreement with the Quran. Buddhism does not accept the Hindu scriptures and the Hindu caste system. Hinduism does not accept the views of life that do not include karma and reincarnation. And atheists cannot accept any belief in God. Everyone has something they're fundamental about. Jump in a crowd and tell people you don't recycle and see how many people will lose it. Or tell others you smoke and see how many people get mad. Everyone has something they're fundamental about. In a healthy relationship, you do have lines and boundaries. If you love someone, you tell them the truth. God is honest with us when we sin. He doesn't just hold it in. He also lets us know how we've sinned. Of course, it can be tough to be honest with the other person in a relationship because you love them. But if you don't bring up things that are an issue in the relationship, can descend into toxicity. Codependent relationships support someone whether it's good to do so or not because they think they're being loving. They can even end up supporting bad behavior or evil without realizing it. Every druggie has had someone who enables them when they're doing drugs before they stop. You have to call the sky polka dot colored to be empathetic with someone who's upset that it's raining instead of nice and sunny out. Who wants to call the sky polka dotted because they're upset? We could still call the sky blue and support how they feel without trying to bend reality to them. Once upon a time, there was a king and queen and a princess who lived in a faraway country. It was indeed a peculiar country, very different from ours. So different that my listener must not be too much surprised when I add the amazing fact that most of its inhabitants, instead of enjoying the things that they had, were always wanting things that they had not. Often even the things that was least likely they could ever have. The things that she, the princess, could have were a great many too many, for her foolish parents always gave her what they could. But there still remained a few things they could not give her, for they were only a common king and queen. They could and did give her a lighted candle when she cried for it, and managed by much care that she should not burn her fingers or set her frock on fire. But when she cried for the moon, that they could not give her. They did the worst thing possible. Instead, they pretended to do what they could not. They got her a thin disc of brilliantly polished silver, as near the size of the moon as they could agree upon, and for a time she was delighted. But unfortunately, one evening she made the discovery that her moon was a little peculiar, as much as it could not shine in the dark. Her nurse happened to snuff out the candles as she was playing with it, and instantly came a shriek of rage. for her moon had vanished. Presently, through the opening of the curtains, she caught sight of the real moon, far away in the sky, shining quite calmly, as if she'd been there all the time. And her rage increased to such a degree that, had it not passed into a fit, I do not know what might have come of it. Of course, as she grew worse, for she never tried to grow better. She became more and more peevish and fretful every day, dissatisfied with not only what she had, but all that was around her, and constantly wishing things in general to be different. She found fault with everything and everybody, and all that happened, she grew more and more disagreeable every day to everyone who had anything to do with her. She was miserable from morning to night. From The Lost Princess by George MacDonald. For from his fullness we have all received grace upon grace, for the law was given through Moses, and grace and truth through Christ Jesus. John 1:6-7. God isn't codependent and loves us enough to be honest with us. He doesn't make us guess.